What's up, part two? What if Izuku and Toga's childhood couples? Yeah. Anyways, let's get started. Izuku, he picks Toga up like bridal style as Toga like blushes and basically like looks at him and says, "What are you doing, Izuku?" As he smiles and basically like I want to say he like speeds off. He quick as shit. So like yeah, he speeds off home basically. Yeah. Anyways, as they get home, Izuku and Toga. Izuku, he says Toga, we need to prepare for UA. As she says, yeah, we do. You're already ready. I just need to train Izuku. As he says, yeah, I done used this picture over 1,000 times, bro. I gotta get a new one. Hold on. Alright, yeah, part two. So let's continue. Anyways, she says, well, yeah, as he says, no, we're both getting it to UA. Or no, he didn't say that. He says, I guess you're kind of right, but you need to train your quirk. Maybe drink more blood and increase how long you can transform with littler blood. As she says, what do you mean? He says, try drinking more blood and transforming into me for a longer time. As she says, maybe. As she says, do you have any other ideas, Isa? As she
Shaking, baby.
my bad. I had to drink some water. Toga says, do you have any other ideas? Izuku says no. Or he says, actually, maybe try using my quirk as well. As he says, maybe that less. He says, we know the more blood you drink, the more potent it transforming is and stuff. But just try using less blood. As she nods her head and says, she basically like, fuck. Hold on. She basically like gets on his lap as Izuku blushes as he says, wait, Toga, before we do this, before you drink my blood, I wanted to tell you something. As she nods and says, go ahead and say it, Izuku. As he says, I was thinking that you don't have to become a hero. As she says, what do you mean? You know that's always been my dream, right? As Izuku says, yeah, I know. It's just well, when we have kids and all, it's really gonna impact your hero life. As she blushes and says, what do you mean kids? As he says, Izuku says, well, we're having kids, right? As you can say, basically like in her eyes, basically. As she says, how many do you want, Izu? As He holds up 5 fingers as she blushes, saying that's a lot of work. Maybe when we're older, as Izuku sighs, says, sure. But how about we make one now? As Toga blushes as she holds his cheeks, saying, that's fine with me, Izuku. As Izuku says, really, Toga, as she says yes. But after UA, or not after UA, but she says after I get into UA, then we can have a child. As Izuku smiles, as he says, he says, what do you want to name her? Him or her? As Toga says, I'm not sure yet. But just slow down, Izuku. I'm not even in. She says, we're young, so. As he says, yeah. But I know I'm gonna stay with you forever, Toga. And you with me, right? As she says, yes. As basically they kiss. And yeah. Time skip. Like a couple months. As Toga and Izuku training. Like they're basically working on Toga's quirk, trying to have her transform into Izuku with just, littler and littler blood. They've progressed to the point where I'ma just tell it instead of telling y'all. Toga, she sits down. Actually, no. She says, as they walk in the house, she says, wow, Izuku, that was tiring. As she says, I just want to lay down. As Izuku says, yeah, but you're getting better, Toga. You know, you can control my quirk a little bit better. Well, way better from when you first started. And you know how to regenerate now. As she smiles, saying, yeah, I do. And it's all thanks to you. As she basically hugs his arm. No, she doesn't hug his arm. She basically just kisses his cheek, basically. Yeah, some simple. Izuku, he says thanks, Toga, but honestly, if it wasn't for you, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be in some delinquent school or juvie. Yeah. And she says, why do you say that? And she says, well, when I was younger, I was always high-headed, and I really didn't like people, so I just didn't like the way they used their power. So I wanted to take it into my own hands. But that was stupid. And you made me see that. As she says, really, when did I make you see that? As he says, well, remember that day? Pause. Let's move on to do a time skip real quick. Alright. Actually, no, fuck that. I'm not doing no time skip. I mean, no flashback. I ain't mean time skip. I mean flashback. Ain't doing no flashback. Fuck all that shit. Izuku. Yeah. He walks up. I mean, not walks up. I'm sorry. He says, well, the day when you were getting bullied for your work, the day that your mom when she left, as he says, when I saw you, you were just so beautiful. And she says, so I charmed you? And she says, yes. And when I seen that people were bullying, and when I seen people were bullying you, how your quirk was, I couldn't. He says, no. He says, I couldn't take you. I'm not sure I had the urge to protect you. As really. And he says, yeah, I'm sorry I told you this. But, yeah. As Toga says, wow. Well, I guess since we're bringing out secrets, I guess I should tell mine then. I cheated on you about to go. Nah, brother. Never get your bitches on your way like that. Just stop. Nah, I'm fine. She didn't say that shit. Okay. She didn't do that. I'm just playing. Yeah. Anyways, she says, well, say from those bad feelings. She says, yeah. The guy who could shoot fire in his hands. She says, yeah. It was actually thinking to be a villain, actually. And she says, really? And she says, yeah. And Toga says, yes. I was already offered. She says, when I was younger back then, I was offered to help become a villain as they see my work useful. But, those being the first people that ever seen my work, I feel like they accepted me. And I really just wanted to be accepted when I was, she says, back then, I just wanted to be accepted. I was just young and stupid, and I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. As she says, but thankfully you showed up and kicked that bad guy's butt and knocked out all those bullies. As Izuku laughs, and she says, yeah, I guess I'm kind of your hero and you're mine. As Toga looks at him, and she says, Izuku is no, he's not going to fuck. She said my full name or some shit. As Izuku looks at her, and she says, Toga, why'd you say my name? No. He says, what's the? He says, yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah, no. He says yes. And she says, thank you for everything. As she kisses him and gives him a big hug. Usually, they, it's good for the back shots and kinds of things. Anyways, let's continue. Hold on. Anyways, Izuku. My bad. Yeah. Izuku says, wait, no, because they hug, and yeah. So we just gonna time it. just gonna time skip. Low key. We're gonna time skip to the entrance exams. Toga, her quirk now, she can like even with like a couple drops of someone's blood, she can like transform into that person for maybe around a couple, I would say 8 hours. And she drinks like, let's say the maximum she needs now, because at first we don't say the maximum she needed was like a full water bottle. That's like 16 ounces. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like 16 ounces. Like 24. Anyways, it's like a full water bottle size. She needed that at first to transform for like 4 hours, and that was her max. And now the little she needs a couple drops, and she can take it to work. She can take it fucking everything basically. And actually, I promise me that I'm gonna say she in like the most she needs to like take her work. I wouldn't say permanently, but like for let's say like a week straight. Is a pipe. Yeah. A pint is all she needs. And honestly, I can make this like half a pint. Whatever half a pint is. Half a pint is all she needs. And she has your quart. She has basically, And yeah, let's start. Anyways, they get to the entrance exams as they're holding hands, walking in. So everybody's looking at them. Actually, no, they're not holding hands. Izuku has his arm around Toga. Yeah, I think that's better, low key. As everybody's like, wow, oh my god, look at that couple. Everyone's like, oh man, they're so cute. Awesome shit. No weird shit though. We're gonna say, actually, no, I can say that. Yeah, I'm saying that. Izuku and Toga, they both get into the like auditorium basically, where prison like explains the robots and stuff like that. He says, basically everything basically happens mechanic, but yeah, but it gets to the last one, basically Ida says, he looks at Izuku and Toga, as like Toga's basically like sitting on Izuku's lap, basically like cuddle up to him. Basically, awesome shit. As he says, if you're more focused, he says in YouTube, if you're more focused on your relationship than trying to become a hero, then this school isn't for you. As Izuku's like, who the fuck does this nigga think he's talking to, bro? Actually, no. Izuku, Toga looks at Izuku as his whole demeanor changes. The nigga's angry, as he's like, hell no, not finna let this shit slide. As Toga says Izuku, as she says, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but if you could mind your business, that would be perfectly fine. You don't know how hard we worked to actually get into school. And your little words, it actually made my Izuku mad. So please apologize. Ida. And Toga also says, in the little outburst with the hero Winter, he was actually going to, or the last robot. She didn't notice his ear. She says the little outburst with the last robot. He was actually going to explain if we could have just gave him a second, but you're too eager on trying to fix someone's mistakes that you don't look at your own. As Izuku goes back to cuddling Izuku, as Izuku basically like wraps his arms around her, saying thanks, Toga. As he smiles, as everybody's like, oh, that nigga not owned, that nigga not owned, oh, that nigga not owned. When we're saying this one, it's different auditoriums, not just one. In Coney Isle, Rio's, wondering where Bakugo at. Yeah. We got a different auditorium. I really just didn't want to include a scene that I like already. Anyways, yeah. Let's time skip to where they're walking to the gates. I see Izuku and Toga are walking. Ito comes up behind him and says, excuse me. As not Izuku, he says, how I'm mad at you. Actually, fuck that. He says, what do you want? As Ito bows. He bows all the way to the ground as he says, I apologize for being disrespectful towards you two. It seems that I don't know how hard you two work, and I only thought about myself when I spoke. I apologize, and I'm Tenya Ida, and I really hope we can be friends. As Izuku says, no, we can't, as he walks off, as Toga looks at Ida, and she sighs. Actually, no. It doesn't go down like that. Toga says, maybe we can be friends. I'm Toga, and this is my boyfriend, Izuku. As Ida, he says, well, I'm Tenya Ida, and as Izuku says, no, we can't become friends. As he walks off holding Toga's hand, basically. As as they're walking, Tenya's like, damn. Hey, let me slide. Like, why you folding like that, man? Like, damn, man. As they're walking, Toga says, Izuku to learn to be more nicer to people. If you want to become a hero, you have to be nice. As he says, why didn't you tell that to him? He's the one who went into our conversation of what we were doing. As Toga left, he's saying, yeah, well, I guess he was just holding his reputation. As he said, what do you mean reputation? He says, he's the son of the Ida. Or no, of the Tenya Corporation. And his brother is pretty sure like on the top 20 roster of heroes. As she says, he could be lower or he could be higher. I'm not sure. I haven't checked in a while, but I'm pretty sure I don't know his name. But pretty sure he had the same quirk as him or similar. As Toga, Izuku says, I guess he was. But that still won't cut it. As he says, now let's get to our gate. Let's get to your gate. cool chocolates. Okay, fine. Actually, no, he said okay. Let's see, grab some cheeks. I want to see squeeze them. You kind of like, yeah, I guess you kind of like squeeze it. Like not as cheap, but like cheap. As people say. Everybody thinks, actually, not everybody just looks at that. As Izuku says, well, I'll be off toga. Please show your best. As he kisses her one time. As he leaves and disappears. As everybody's like, what's his quirk? Oh my god. As there is some people like, damn, she's already taken. But anyways, yeah. Let's get started with the entrances there. Izuku, he's at his gate. I'm gonna just not really go tell this part. Just tell Izuku's like their entrances there. So yeah, I might tell a little bit of Toga's though. The gate opens as everybody sits there. As you know, President Mike says, go, go. As Izuku vanishes. And basically, like, remember his quirk is time manipulation. So basically, what he does, he basically, like, accelerates time for the robots and basically, making them like super rusty because metal over time rust, so it basically makes them super rusty and like kind of weak, basically what I call it, weak, and he just basically breaks them. And he does this for most of his robots. And yeah. Now to Toga. And now Izuku's just doing that. As let's get to Toga. As she says, okay, Toga, you got this. The door opens as she runs in. As she instantly, like, I'm gonna say she stops the time around her. As she basically breaks the robots. Basically stops the time and breaks the robots. As everybody's wondering, like, why is niggas frozen? And why is the robots froze? Some of them, like, her radius isn't as big as Izuku's since it's not her quirk. But at the same time it is, you get what I'm saying? But yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Izuku, not Toga. She basically just doing that, and let's get to the tower. We're basically they're being spectated. As he says, Aizawa, pull up the documents on Izuku. We just put the documents on that green-haired. Aizawa says, Nezu, pull up the documents on that green-haired boy. As he says, yep, I think this is him. As he says, his quirk, time manipulation. As he says, the description says it can stop, rewind, forward time, and that's about it. As he says it looks like he can control it in the area and it's not globally. Man, that would be bad if it was. As Nezu says, well, if it was, you really wouldn't know because he could have actually rewinded a couple times and we wouldn't know. As Aizawa looks at Nezu, as he says, Nezu, shut the fuck up. As Nezu chuckles, saying, it's just an observation. Aizawa. As he says, what about the blondie? They walked in together. They seem to have the same quirk. Maybe, as he says, no, not relatives. They have to be a couple then, right? As he says, yes, most likely. As he says, he says, I've seen them kissing, maybe before her gate opened. As Izuku, Aizawa says that's good. Well, no, he didn't say that's good, but he says basically like okay, basically. As he says in her quirk, as he says, her quirk is transformation. Actually no. He says her quirk is blood nation. As he says, describe it. Oopsies. As he says, basically, she can drink the blood of someone, and she basically takes that person's appearance. As he says, then how does she have a similar quirk to him? It isn't adding up, Nezu. That's awful. All Might says maybe it was awful one. As Nezu says, All Might, calm down. Is that the first thing you thought of? No. Most likely, her quirk may be mutated. She can transform into people, and maybe they trained it.
I have 19.
Mutated it to where drinking enough of someone's blood for maybe a consistent amount of time could potentially give that person her quirk, maybe for a short amount of time, or maybe permanently. I'm not sure. As Nezu says, All Might says she looks familiar though. I've seen her somewhere. I know it. And the green haired gang. And she says, Nezu says, that's fine. Well, don't you think it's time to call in the 0 pointers? As they nod their head and the 0 pointer come in. As Izuku's 0 pointer comes in, he says, damn, that thing's big. Hold on. No. He says, damn, that's a giant robot. As All Might, he says, actually, not All Might, Izuku. He says, I'm gonna destroy you, son of a bitch. As basically, he rushes the robot. As basically it starts, and the same thing doesn't happen in canon where Chaco gets stuck. That shit is bullshit to me. Like, bitch, if you don't fucking run, like, come on, bro. Anyways, Izuku, he basically like rushes the robot. As the robot stops, as Izuku stops time on just that leg. So now that robot's leg is just in the air, as it's just a machine as well. It's not, super intelligent. Anyway, Izuku, like it basically it basically you know, kind of like weight, like its weight is kind of like leaning the robot forward.
Trash.
So it's kind of leaning forward, but the back leg. Keep in mind the back leg and the whole body is not, it's still in motion, unfrozen from time. And
The little boy trying to touch my ball.
basically, the front leg basically destroys. It basically like tilts over and basically destroys the robot. But yeah, I'm using no but. That's what happened. And yeah, how much time is it? 36. I'm thinking I ended it there, honestly. Give me a second. I'm gonna think about it real quick. Yeah, but I'm gonna just end it here after the entrance exams, and yeah, make part 1. Make part 3. Probably later on tonight. Like after, yeah, tonight, man. I got y'all.